Welcome to The Hot Switch with your host, Alli Mang, bringing you the best from leaders, comebackers, and instigators from around the world. Every episode, we put each other on the hot seat to exchange the kind of hard-won wisdom and transformative ideas that will shift your perspective and fuel your next move. This is The Hot Switch. I first met Jason Catron as the road manager of a show we were doing touring Western Canada. I then featured him in my book, Finding the Light, and we've been friends ever since. He is a tenor and crooner who has sung for audiences and heads of state throughout the world. Jason became the biggest selling artist at the Hour of Power at the Crystal Cathedral and was given the honor to sing at the Vatican with the award-winning group Tenor. He is a highly sought-after vocal coach, the host of First Class Conversations on the Vocal Lab podcast, alongside co-host Shelby Rollins. In its first year, this podcast earned YouTube's Silver Play button. The Nashville Sessions Volume 1, a jazz tribute, took 8 years to complete and is the most meaningful thing he's ever produced. He shares the people who make a lasting impact keep creating and stay true to themselves. And that's worth fighting for. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Catron. Welcome. Oh my gosh, I am so excited about this show. It's taken me a few shows to get to work with my beautiful friend, Jason, and we welcome you to the Hot Switch. Jason, welcome.
Hey, thanks, Alli. It is so good to see you. And it was actually so fun just to watch that. I'm like, wow, I've been doing a few things. You know, you get busy and you have this trajectory of career life, everything. And then, you know, when someone takes the time to put together a reel like that, which is fantastic, by the way. Thank you for that. It's like, you know, we all need a little pat on the back every once in a while for ourselves, right? It's like we are doing some fun things. So yeah. Can't wait to talk all about it and just to be here with you today. We've had many fun experiences, to say the least. We could talk for years.
We could talk for years. Jason, that was a thrill to do that, and you should be celebrated, and that's what this show is all about, celebrating our creativity and just who we are, and it's okay. Now, what I have been doing right from the beginning is my candle tradition. One day we're going to have a sponsor that is like, part of this.
I was like, is that a lighter? That's a show on fire.
Yeah. But I light this candle at the beginning of our show, and what it represents is that we know that wonderful things are happening right now. And even if maybe doesn't seem exactly like, you know, the sun is shining in your world for the moment, we have to know that the sun is shining always. It's part of the energy. It's part of what's happening. So this is what we know today. Wonderful things are taking place right now. I'm going to keep this candle on the entire show to hold us all up. So there we go. Well, you know, you got to do a little bit of good spiritual stuff too.
Oh,
Jace,
for sure.
I wanted to get right into things. I mean, you're a vocal coach. You started singing when you were 2. We mentioned Tenore, and talk about the first thing I want to know is, and you can take it wherever you want, of course, but having the voice part of every, you know, your being, how has that allowed you to continue to find deeper and deeper and give you the courage to expand that from tenor, working on the road, harmonizing tightly? Your harmonies were so exquisite. So talk about that, and go for it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I think I've told this story many times. I started singing when I was 2, as you mentioned, and it was a little small church in Kentucky. And after that first time that I sang, I think the song was Jesus Loves Me. And my mom knew I could sing. She sang to me as a baby. And I guess once I started talking, I just melodically started doing things. And a lady came up afterwards and gave me a $1 bill. And I kept doing that every week to get another dollar bill. And, I'm at two. I don't even know what a dollar is. I just know I need it. And so to me, it was really fascinating looking back on even that simple story, how my path, my journey on this planet for the little time that we all get here has been what you just said. It's really to use my voice. And the journey's been up and down. Obviously, there's so many moments of self-discovery and going through the valleys and the struggles and refining who you are as a human, as a person. But I feel very, very fortunate and blessed that my journey did include the fiber of my voice. We all have a voice, right? Even those of us who don't physically maybe aren't able to speak, we have sign language. The voice literally and figuratively, right? Most of us have it literally, some figuratively. But how we use that is everything. And luckily through my family, my father, my mentors, I was, advised along the way to use my voice for good. And I try everything I do is to empower other people to do the same thing, whether I'm standing on a stage singing. You mentioned Tenore. That was a fantastic time of life. We were a Canadian group and toured the world with them. We did these amazing shows, some of the most beautiful venues and concert halls. But yeah, standing on that stage with those three tight harmonies and the power that can come together through that literal moment of using our voices and how it would meet words on these big soaring melodies and the orchestras and instrumentations. Night after night, we just saw people encouraged, inspired, more hopeful. They just felt like there was a light that could heal or help, maybe in their darkest of times. That's just what I've tried to apply with everything I do. And inside of coaching and mentoring artists and clients, individuals, just even hobbyists and professionals, that's kind of the guiding force behind it too. It's like, what is your story? What is your journey? What is your path? And how can you take your voice that you've been given and all your experiences and all your ups and downs and put it in your own little package and offer it to the world? And I just feel like when you wrap all that with a big bow tie of love, amazing things can happen.
Yeah. There's no question about, oh my God, as even, I love it.
I'll get
as
off my
I was
soapbox
talking.
now.
No, you stay right on it, my beautiful friend. I was just thinking so many things occurred to me. But I have to say, when we got to meet in the intro, we talked about me being the road manager of this Christmas show we did with Kevin Pauls, and you were just striking.
Yeah.
Both of you were fabulous. And you and I could not, that was a friendship made in heaven. And every night it would be Alli, yeah. Are we, what is the jacket? Do we like the jacket? Do we like the pants? Do we the shoe? The outfits.
I should have worn the green pants
today.
I should have worn the green pants for you. I didn't think about it. I still have them.
I can't believe you still have those green pants. Anyway.
I can't get rid of them. I don't wear them anymore, but they're in the closet as a relic.
Well, I was thinking about, I know that you are just beginning your first class conversations. And when I was listening to you speak, I was just like, this is exactly the mentoring that you're going to help shape others as well. And all of these experiences of our lives, they do shape what we're doing right now. And I guess it's all about choice then. What do we want to do? And I just love, you call it a soapbox. I think it is absolutely part of who you are. And that's always been. Listen, I know that you saw Jennifer Hudson recently, and I'd love to take a clip because from your podcast, there it is. Oh my gosh. Talk about her. Talk about a voice.
Oh my goodness. You know what? I'd never seen her live. And she was in Nashville at the arena with Josh Groban. They did a tour this year together, which was phenomenal. I'd seen him before, but not her. And that other person in the photo with me was my good friend Simon Lithgow, and he and his father started American Idol, So You Think You Can Dance. He's done more than you can think of. And he had not seen Jennifer since she was on American Idol. That was I think it was 16, 17 years ago. And so I went with him, a few other friends, and of course we got to go backstage and see her. And I was kind of capturing the whole thing for him as it happened, because as I said, they had not seen each other since she was on the show. And to be there for that special moment, for them to come together, even with what we were just talking about, with first class conversations and me coaching voice and all of that, to see her in that moment look to him and be like, thank you for giving me the life that I have. And I think she said, you gave us all a voice. I think those words came out of her mouth. And we were all just a little speechless at that. We were already speechless because her singing voice is crazy. I don't know, next to your fellow beloved Canadian, Celine Dion, I don't know that I've ever heard a voice that great live. Her and Celine, completely blown away. And I even turned to Simon at one point, or he turned to me and was like, I don't think anyone gets better than this. I mean, it was really phenomenal what she was able to do. So, from being a fellow artist and singer who's a vocalist, we have artists who sing and, a lot of, maybe they talk more on their notes. Maybe they never have formal training, but then you have vocalists, those of us who like spent a lot of time developing our voices and trained, and we may sing a little more pretty or melodic. It was really fun to sit in front of her and just watch her give her gift to us. It was pretty phenomenal.
It's a spiritual experience for sure. I do think about Audra McDonald as well as one of the just the spirit that it just overtakes. I mean, you could think of that, and Jennifer Holliday, of course, as well.
Yeah, of course.
That's wonderful. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun night for sure. Well, and she and I got to spend some moments together. I never met her, and so there was, I told Simon and our friend Ryan after, I was like, did no one think to get a picture when she was like holding my arms and we were like face to face for like what seemed like 10 minutes, and she was asking me all about the voice, how it works, and taking care of her voice, and because I don't think she's really, I don't know if she's trained at all ever. We didn't really go into what her history was with it, but she had so many questions for me as a vocal coach. And I was like, it would have been fun to have that video with me and Jennifer Hudson, like face to face, locked in arms, but they didn't get that.
Yeah,
they were too busy watching
Where's the publicist?
I know. I need a full-time publicist and photographer, clearly.
Let's go. Let's get that happening. Oh my God, I love that. Well, you and I, everybody is passionate about music. I mean, my gosh, that is the universal language. And I just loved it when I saw that post, and I was so excited for you. And I've had my chance to also sing, not sing, but be in the company of Pia Toscano and Daniel Emmett and, Shalea.
Yes,
These voices, it's just beyond the beyond. Jace, before we move on, tell us where we can find you, because we're going to start doing the hot switch and switching all kinds of things around. So let's be sure that we know where to find you.
You can find everything I do at jasoncatron.com. And you'll see links for my coaching, my music, the podcast, first class conversations. We kind of brought, it's actually a great question with a little clarification on it. I lost my domain about, it's probably about 10 years ago through a random series of events. There was a credit card that my accountant was paying that got cut off. He actually passed away, unfortunately. And I was in California. He was here in Tennessee. Through a series of events, I lose my website. Immediately, someone took it, and they wanted like $5,000 or something for it. I'm like, I'm not going to pay that. At that time, I was with Tenor. I wasn't even pushing anything myself, just singing with Tenor and coaching. And then it was about a year or two ago when all these things started to happen. I was like, I've got so many brands out here and run all these different websites. And I was actually with a publicist friend at a dinner, and he's like, why aren't you just branding everything under your name? I'm like, well, here's the story, lost the thing. He's like, have you tried to buy it again? I literally go to my phone to GoDaddy, and I look, and it's like jasoncatron.com, a penny. I'm like, well, dang, I've lost value over those years, I guess. And And I didn't believe it. I was like, it says it's available for a penny. And he's like, well, buy it right now. Well, I closed it out and I opened it up again because I thought that has to be wrong. And sure enough, it wasn't. So I snagged it. I got it back. And since then, we brought everything under jasoncatron.com. So you can find everything there, and on my Instagram, YouTube channel, all the things where we're just like having fun and trying to, again, like I said, encourage and give people a little hope and fun in their day.
Well, I know you do that. And we have to, just before we go, we have to point out that silver button plaque on your wall. Excuse me?
That that way.
There we go.
That way. No, wait. How do I get over there? Oh, wow.
There you go. It's opposite. Yeah.
That was a fun little accolade to get. You know, when you dive in, those of you out there have done this, when you dive into the YouTube world, it is completely different than all the others. And of course, it's long form, so it takes more, just more time in general, more editing, more investment. The algorithms are different. And it can seem like forever and nothing's really building or happening. And it's definitely a space where you can't get bogged down in numbers like views, subscribers, anything like that. But over time, when things start to like tick up a little bit and you start getting a little closer, you're like, whoa, we're really close to this silver play button. And then when it happens, it was a really fun moment. We had a little celebration, all of us collectively. And yeah, it's kind of fun now just to have here in the studio and pop it into the podcast when we do that. And, none of these things really mean anything when it comes down to it, other than I think at the end of the day, it's like, okay, at least something we're putting energy and effort into is resonating, and that feels good. Something we've done has helped maybe a little bit stumble into the algorithms. So that's maybe a little clever and creativity. And, I think at the end of the day, like that $1 that the lady gave me at church, it's just a little kiss from God to say, keep going. Like, don't put too much stock into it, because at the end of the day, what you're doing is worth more than any accolade. But for those of us doing it, it is fun to get them. And, just so the only, I'm just gonna throw this out there. We like to, and I talk about how we like to put energy into the atmosphere in the universe. Yes. I do want like at least a Grammy nomination, if not like a little Grammy to go up there with my Covenant Awards from tenor days. That would be fun. That would be, especially as a vocal coach. If you walk into your vocal coach's studio and he's got a Grammy, you'll be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm in the right place here today.
Yeah, exactly. When
we're gonna,
I'll just throw this in there. When we did vocals for this record, we flew out to LA to work with a guy named Greg Field, and he's a legend in music, and especially in the jazz space. He's literally worked with everyone from Count Basie to Sinatra down the list. And go into his house the first day, and he has his Grammy room. And not only does he have all of his, he has, there's chairs, there's Oscars, there's Emmys, because his father-in-law was Henry Mancini. So it's just like, I stepped in that room, I was like, am I at the right house? I don't know if I'm allowed to be in here. It was overwhelming. I'm like, can I just sneak one and I'll pretend it's mine?
Yeah. Well, they do say if you surround yourself, the circle of influence, then that's who you are, even if that's not your experience today. I remember when one of my good friends, Michael Learned, who played Olivia Walton on the Waltons, she has 4 daytime Emmys or 4 Emmys. And I remember I looked at her and I said, I've got a picture of it. I know, Victor, you don't have it, but I'm holding all her 4 Emmys, and it's just like, oh my gosh. It's all fun. Good. I know it is. Listen, we're going to take a short break. And when we return, we're going to do one of my favorite parts of the show. We'll be right back.
All right.
I'm Alli Mang. For over 30 years, I've been obsessed with one question. How do the best in the world get there and stay there? Here's what I've learned. Sustained excellence isn't what you do in the moment. It's every choice that built you for the moment. I teach high-stakes performers how to deliver under pressure when the platform is new, the stakes are highest, and there are no second chances. I've generated $65 million in 30 days, delivered 3,000 hours of live, unscripted performance where failure wasn't an option. That pressure built 21 proprietary methodologies. I teach A-listers and rising performers how to access what they've built when everything depends on being ready. Transformation doesn't take months. It takes one moment. Yay!
Love it. Love it. Hey, can you get me $65 million? That's what I heard.
Yeah, well, there you go. Just get on the shopping
amazing.
channel and work your butt off.
I mean, I can't imagine what that's like.
Well, listen, you know what? It's like anything. You keep on doing it. You keep on trusting, and it's all about connecting with the audience. That is genuine. That is helping them solve issues. Even if you're selling towels, even if you're selling carpets and pillows, you find the right way and the positioning of it to say, hey, look, let's get some pillows in that room of yours to accessorize and, all those good things. So let's do our segment. We are ready to go, Victor. Take it away.
Something from the desk of.
Okay, Jace.
What is that?
What's on the desk?
Okay. What's on the desk? Well, okay. Can I walk over there and get it? Because I repositioned my studio here to, I'll grab, oh, I got a few things I'm going to show you. This is actually going to be fun. Okay.
Notice the color. Wait, I just need to show, well, you're not there. Please notice the color combinations we've got going. Sorry, but I mean, this is part of it all. And, the stole, fabulous. Our two studios
And
look
it was
great
not
together.
planned.
See? No,
It was not planned. Okay, so here, this is fun. So we're going to start here. This is my vocal studio. And I have this little trusty little remote that controls the treadmill that's over here. Because sometimes I get artists on the treadmill, especially before they go out on tour, and we do some cardio, vocalizing, singing while they do that. I have my trusty little, these have become so popular over the past few years, the vocal straws. So you can vocalize. Those stay on my desk all the time. I also have, just goes here, it's a great book. Creative Act.
Creative Act.
Yeah, by Rick Rubin, an amazing read. It's just kind of sitting here. And then I have also, just because we always got to channel a little Sinatra. Right? Got to channel our inner Sinatra. So he's here always with us. And then this is the most fun. I just found this the other day. I didn't forget I had it. I just didn't know where I put it. And all my moving, I hadn't seen it in several years. And I started, I wanted to find it because I was like, I need to get that framed. I've never asked for an autograph that I remember, maybe when I was a little kid. I'm sure I asked for Mickey Mouse or somebody like that, but like, can't ever remember asking another musician for an autograph. But in college, I was able to get my favorite singer, Mr. Tony Bennett's autograph. He was he was playing here in Nashville, and it was at the Tennessee Performing Arts Center. We call it TPAC. And we were leaving, and my friend that I was with, she's like, let's see if he comes out the side stage door. So we go down there, and there was about 10 people or so. It was a cold night too. And there was like a car pulled up there, a black car, and I was like, he's gonna come out. Sure enough, within a few minutes of being there, he walks out with his manager, road manager, whoever, and people are like, Mr. Bennett, Mr. Bennett. And I literally just threw this program in front of him. I was like, Mr. Bennett, can I have your autograph? You're my favorite singer ever. And he's like, yeah, yes, son, yes, young man. And he just signed it. And then his guy was like, we got to get Mr. Bennett out of the cold. And he had a scarf around his neck. And that was it. I was the only person that got an autograph. And I just feel really really thankful that happened. I saw him, I think, 11 times. I was able to go to, he was the very first concert that I remember where I was like, I was a little kid. My parents took me, and I remember going, I want to do that. I want to do that. You know, it was just so cool. Here was this he was old then, old guy singing these old songs with just a 3-piece, no lights, no videos, no dancers, no nothing, just him. And to cap it off, I was able to go to his very last concert for his 95th birthday at Radio City Music Hall in the
with Lady
throes
Gaga
of
host.
Lady Gaga in the throes of COVID. I just knew I knew it was his last one, you know, and I'm like, I really want to be at his 95th birthday. So we got tickets, me and my friend Bethany, who lives up in New York, and it was a very, very special moment that I'll take with me forever.
Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is how to capitalize on something from the desk of. Yes, I love it. Thank you. Thank you for showing up, Mr. Catron.
You are most welcome.
I have one quick Tony Bennett story, and then we will move on. I went to see him as well. He was in Toronto at the Pantages. That's where it was at the time. That was where Phantom of the Opera first became, you know, a Canadian. You know, it was one of the greats, obviously. And Phantom of the Opera was there, but this is Pantages, a beautiful theater. It's now owned by the Merviches, and he was there, and James and I were having, I guess, dinner before the show, and the waitress was asking, "Oh, what show are you going to be seeing?" And we're seeing, you know, it will be Tony Bennett, and I believe we said something like in the Tommy Dorsey band, some of the originals are going to be playing, whatever. And she said to me, "Oh my God, he's still packing them in, isn't he? The Tommy Dorsey band." And I was like, yeah, you know, I mean, God love her for even saying anything.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Cute. Listen, I'm gonna change the tone a little bit, and we're gonna take a look at this, and this will be our second segment of the Hot Switch.
Hey guys, just being extra vulnerable here this morning. And all I gotta say is we did it. We really, really did it. The journey of this record started over 8 years ago. And I'm driving this morning listening to the final mixes and masters before they get uploaded today. And I'm just speechless. I'm emotional. I'm grateful. And I'm blessed. And maybe it's a reminder to us all, in the midst of great loss, there can be a rebirthing of something beautiful. So this record's coming. It's coming your way, and we're gonna have fun listening to it. We're gonna remember loved ones and moments of our lives that were good and great and fun and joyful and sometimes sad. But this is tribute, and I can't wait for you to hear it. I love you guys.
Wow. Well, to make me get all emotional again. Yeah, that was I hadn't planned to do that. It just really hit me. I was driving to an appointment here in Nashville that morning, and had just woken up to the final edits and was listening on the way there. And as I pulled into my meeting, I was like, I just have to say something. I just feel like I do. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I just popped up my phone, and that's what came out. And, you know, Alli, you and I bonded probably quite deeply over loss. You know, you having lost your parents and your sister, and that's my story as well over this past 8 years, and how wrapped up they are into this record. But more than that, they're wrapped up into my life and so many other people's lives. And music is the fiber that it just covers all of us. Even when we're just having a day and we're out there, at Earl's having a Sunday lunch and there's songs on. And we may not even be aware, but we remember, especially when life happens. And life will happen to all of us. It's happening to many of you right now as you're watching this. And music is I say it all the time, next to love itself. Music is the greatest gift that God has ever given humanity, in my honest, humble opinion, because it is, as we know, the universal language. It is the ultimate healing tool. And when that music is good, and when it can, again, transcend culture, generations, races, it just has a way to permeate any wall that tries to come up that says, don't feel, don't let yourself down, or let yourself be known. It's just the ultimate tool. I could go on about that forever, but that's what this record is. That's why I'm doing it. It's the main overriding reason is, I had a friend in, this was around COVID too. We were doing a musical theater workshop. He's a Broadway star. He just finished his run with Death Becomes Her, and huge Broadway
Great
guy.
show.
We fly to Phoenix to do a vocal. Yeah, no big deal. We fly to Phoenix to do a theater camp together, vocal workshop. I'm doing the voice. He's doing the theatrical part of it.
Stage. Right.
Funny human. But we're in the pool before. It's really hot one day, and I'm telling him about, again, this record's still in my ecosphere. Like, I'm trying to figure out, how do I do this? This is a big record. And the reason I say it's a big record, for those of you who have no clue what I'm talking about, I'm one guy who had a dream to do this record of classic songs, these classic country songs that I grew up to. It's what my dad loved, but I loved Sinatra, Tony, all that stuff. And over a series of time, with my time doing, Christian music and doing the Crystal Cathedral, all that, and then joining Tenore and doing the pop crossover stuff with all the orchestras, and coming back full circle to, like, this is the record I was always supposed to make. And when my dad in his final days encouraged me to make it and not give up, and my first words were, I don't know how I'll find the money to do that. He's like, don't you worry about that. Just put it in motion. Money will come. God will take care of the rest. You need to do this record. And after he told me that, I was like, I can't stop until it's done. Can't stop. So 8 years, and hundreds of players. Like, we're doing full orchestras. We're doing full big band. We're doing live on the floor like Sinatra did. That means there's a conductor in the room, as we get all those nuances and the breath that comes out of a violin, horn. Not many people do this anymore because it's incredibly expensive. And not many people do it when it's a one-man show trying to make it happen. I didn't have a label paying for this. So we sit here today, and that's why you can see in that video, like, when that final little package came to me, I just couldn't help but respond. And in the midst of that response, just give thanks and understand how beautifully blessed I am. And it doesn't mean everything's perfect, but it does mean, as you know, and you alluded to this something at the beginning of the show, I think, we have to make these choices, even if we have to fight like hell to find them. We have to choose to be grateful and thankful and understand the blessing of just breath itself. Even when I feel like I don't want to breathe, I still have the blessing of that breath this day on this planet. And these songs are going to inspire people, encourage people. They're going to remind you of times with your loved ones, with your grandparents, with your friends, with your weddings, with your graduations, maybe a breakup. it's wrapped up all in this, the Nashville Sessions Volume 1, a jazz tribute to Nashville, a jazz tribute to my family, and a jazz tribute to all my loved ones and friends out there who are fortunate enough to go along the journey with me.
Jason, you asked earlier in this show, now how do you sell $65 million on live television? Guess what?
Yeah.
This is how.
Right.
Perhaps this is our first live show in the world of selling, because let's face it, it's a huge part. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, the one thing I wanted to say, and this is, you know, we transform as we really settle into our voice, and it doesn't happen overnight. No. And that post that you put out, and the only reason why I did it was because you chose to post it on your feed, and I felt, boy, this captures the Jason I know, the one that most of us don't get to see, the one who is vulnerable, who is full of everything, and it goes back to what I always talk about, the game face. And you know, it's not in sports, the game face and putting it on. It's the totality of everything that brought you to this moment, and you decided to capitalize it. You decided to share it, not as a bravado or look at me, but literally to say, the whole world since I was 2, all of my singers, my parents, my friends, the people I have lost, every part of the emotion, the entire totality of all of it is what I am throwing at and saying thank you to. And for that, Jason, we thank you for just showing us, because some of us need to feel, you know, we've got stuff inside us. That's why I start. Wonderful things are taking place. And you gave us that moment. So as much as it was a celebration that you took stage to, you also gave us a gift. I'm going to just, I would love to read, if I may, Jace. I had mentioned in the bio that I had done that I featured you in one of the books that I wrote called Finding the Light, Beautiful and Peaceful. And you were talking about your
Pop-Tart horse there.
Yeah, your horse. But I want to share.
Pop-Tart was brand new.
I know, yeah. Pop-Tart. Yeah. Anyway, I want to just, may I, if you don't mind, I'm going to read a quote that you talked, because you talked about loss. I think what's important through this process of tremendous sadness and grief is that we take this time to be still so that we can find new ways to keep moving. There is a time to be still and quiet, but true healing, I believe, comes through deciding to actively get up and move on. Because if we stop moving and stay still for too long, that's where the real problems of doubt, confusion, and depression can arise. My point here.
I said,
amen. Yeah, well, that's you.
Yeah.
And
that was,
you wrote,
and you know, that was in the throes of COVID when I just lost my dad. That's where all that came from. And since then I've lost my mom and my sister, and wow, that really hits me to hear that, and to not only to hear it because it was from my own mouth and my own honesty in that moment, but dang it, like, wow, I took my own advice and I kept moving.
Thank you, because I was just going to do that big button for you, and you've done it yourself. And
yeah,
sweetie.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's hard. It is hard. It is everything all wrapped up in one, but it is beautiful. You know, and I've said this many times too, Alli, maybe to you. One of the greatest things I ever learned in life personally through brokenness was that I really felt like, it's one of the few times I really felt like I woke up in the middle of the night, I felt like I heard God say something to me. And it was like the words fell into my ears. There's beauty in the breaking. And to what you were saying before too, I grew up, I called myself a quarter kid. My dad was the mayor my whole life. And, you know, growing up in church, singing on stages since 2, like put a quarter in my back, tell me what to do. And like, da, 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 da. And so I got really good at that. But when you do that, you know, the stage became my safe place. That's where I felt like I could just be me. But wrapped all around that was this kid that never wanted you, and young adult that didn't want you to really see all of who he was. And even to be full circle to what you said now a minute ago, to me being in the car a few weeks ago, and just letting people see that life can be beautiful if we keep moving and try to find that, and always fight for that. Because one thing we know, it is hella hard, and we don't know what curveball is going to come at any given time. But faith, hope, love, beautiful friendship, those are things we can always fight to keep in our person and in our atmosphere. And when we do, wow, I really believe perspective falls in a whole more full and healthy way.
You know, my Victor in my ear, he just said, what like kept you going in the tough times? And pretty much you answered that. Happy to have you speak more to it. But the point that I get is what you spoke about, breath. You know, we want stuff. And if we are creators, we are going to create. And that's part of our oxygen. But at the same time, you mentioned perspective. Sometimes you got to keep moving, just like your quote in 2020 that you said in the article that you know we wrote. And it also have to have perspective. So push, move, go. But then if there are moments where you are, call it paused or whatever has happened, part of that is the, you know, it's the ingredients, the if you're making bread, you've got to let it rise a little bit. It's not something that happens overnight. And that is the frustration, but it's also the beauty and the breaking. So, you know, again, this is such a, please.
No, it really is. And, you know, I know sometimes people like you and myself, Alli, where we try to always encourage and build up people. Like that's really a passion of ours, a deep passion, and all of our creativity kind of flows in and through that. I know there's always that side of the populace out there that just can't quite understand it because they're in such pain or depression, and it doesn't negate what we do in any way, nor the need for us to continuously keep doing it. But I do just throw that out there to say, if that's you listening today, just keep fighting, because there is, as you said and I said, as long as there's breath in this beautiful body that we've been given, there's a small chance or nugget for your biggest dream to come true. And I have found in my life, and I believe, and this is what I try to teach everyone I come in contact with, we are just one conversation away from that change to happen. That's why I came up even with first class conversations. It's not about living a first class life like with opulence and gold and private jets and all that. If that's your first class, go for it. But your first class may be just like, I want a wife and 2 kids, and I want to have a job that I can support them, and you know, have our little plot of land, whatever it is. Maybe you just want to travel the world, and that's first class to you. I promise you, you are only one conversation away from dreaming to doing. And that takes us constantly fighting for hope and belief that I have one life. I don't know how long I'm going to be here, but I'm going to try to make the most of this one opportunity that I get to be here. And I personally believe, and this is to kind of think one of your questions, what kept me going, I just over time have realized, like, yeah, this is my journey. Music is my journey. And what I've always thought it might be may not have worked out as I had personally planned, but it is incredibly fun and beautiful in what it's become and still becoming. And I'm excited about this new record and the opportunities that are going to come with that, and the people that I'm going to connect with through that part of my life and work. But all I have to do is get up every day and try to keep my head on straight, be positive and hopeful. That's not always easy, as we know. But I don't have to worry so much. I just get in the stream and swim and let God, the universe, the energies of the world that I am constantly trying to put out there as well, push that current along. And see what other little fish jump in there, and well, what's that? Let's try to, I think that's a fun way to look at it, right? And that obviously we're in the same stream. That's why we've been friends for so long and still at a deep level. And
sometimes surface as well. I mean, we do like fabulous shoes.
Yeah, this is true. We definitely like nice things. My friends,
no question about it.
Yeah, no question about that. My friends definitely have thoughts on my bouginess, as they like to say. But
well, you and I both, when we traveled.
Yo, gosh.
When we traveled, I was the road manager.
Fairmont was our best friend.
But remember, even I had 2 big suitcases like Diana Ross. You had 2, but you were on stage. What am I? I'm a road manager. What am I wearing? Black. What the heck? Listen, Chase, we've got to close her down, but I have a couple of questions I would love to ask. But let's be sure, give us when your record actually is ready to be downloaded. I know, give us those scoops, because we want to have that for sure, and go for it. And then I've got a few questions, and then we're out of here.
Absolutely. So, and thank you for that. The record drops, everyone ready? August 14th, coming your way just any day now. So August 14th, the record is available everywhere on streaming, and we will have a vinyl version of this record coming in probably early October. That follow along on my journey, and you'll find out where that's going to be. There's a whole 2-year plan with this record, so we're going to have lots of music coming your way. This is just volume 1. But yeah, August 14th is the drop, and I couldn't be more excited.
Wow, we couldn't be more excited for you. And thank you for pulling back the curtain too, and of course we've kind of speak for another 4 hours about process and what happened and I do have a question though. Did you guys film all of your stuff? Please tell me you did.
We did, yeah.
Okay, yes. Good. So we've got a documentary coming.
We do. And, this, as I said, this record from beginning to end has so many little angles and facets of the story of the songs, the story of Nashville in its early days to where it is today, country music itself and jazz, all wrapped into this one, and my life in and through it as well. So yeah, there's going to be so much that you're going to see from footage being in the studio. I mean, when the orchestra's playing, I mean, I could go on. But follow along on my Instagram. You'll definitely be seeing all of that.
I'm so happy. Jason, James Lipton does the 10 questions at the end of Actors Studio. God rest his soul now. And so I adopted it, but put them down to 5 because, if you can't say it in 5 questions, then I don't know what you're doing, right? But of course, sure. Every single question you answered within this entire show so elegantly and beautifully. And so I'm like, well, I guess the questions are out of the thing, but I'm going to ask you one thing because I always love, right? I go, guess we've done that. But what is the one thing you always do before you go live, particularly on stage, but just before you go live? Is there something you always make sure you do?
Yeah, I think the thing I do personally, just for myself, is I collect myself. I have a moment of calming, because a lot can happen before a performance or a show, things not planned as well, right? And you know this from all your live experience. the lead up to a live event, it gets more dramatic and chaotic the closer it gets in most cases, right? And so any little thing can send anything into a tailspin. So I try to take that moment to collect myself. I will do some leg shakes, some arm shakes. I may jump up and down a little bit just to get some energy flowing. And then I simply say a prayer of thanks and gratefulness and prayer of let this moment help heal people. That's it. And I go out and have fun. And so it's just that little moment where I can just be myself and remember that little 2-year-old kid. And I guess in some ways put the quarter in my own back and go, da-da-da-da-da, welcome to the show.
Well, I think that is the button of our show today for sure. My gosh, have you ever shared the world with us? Jason, thank you so much for your heart, for your soul, for your friendship. And frankly, I think you're the friend of just about anybody. You light up a room every time you come into it, whether it's in front of 2,500 or 5,000 or 10 million, or just you and I and Victor and everyone listening and watching. Thank you so much too. You were an inspiration that got me thinking about, you know what? It's time. I started doing this. I've always wanted to do it. And I have so many amazing friends. And so I thank you very much for that. And do you see, we've added music. I decided, Victor, we've got to add some music to the end.
I love it.
Do you like it? I end, by the way, do you have a question for me before we're done?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. This just popped in my head. If I could record one song for you as a tribute to you, what would it be? That's a hard question, I know, but.
Yeah, you're giving it to me, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Probably Valjean's. Is it One Day More? No. Yeah.
One more day.
Okay. Thank you. That would be it. Well, I mean, come on. Okay. You're a tenor.
Yeah.
You're a lyric tenor, for God's sakes. You're also, I don't know what the male version of belter is, but you got it all going on. So that would be mine, my darling.
All right. Noted. You never know.
Okay, noted. Listen, as I promised, the candle has been lit this whole time. Talk about abundance, talk about ever flowing. This was an episode. I hope it filled your heart with joy and some inspiration as well. On that note, I'm going to blow the candle out. Remember, wonderful things are always taking place. No matter if you can see it or not at this moment, it is here and it's for all of us to know to be true. I wish you a wonderful day and thank you for spending time with us. I thank Jason Catron, our beautiful guest, and Victor as well, our producer. I thank you all. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Never miss an episode. Subscribe and listen at allimang.com. New conversations from the hot switch wherever you get your podcast. It's time to switch it up. Alli Mang here. Of all the people that could have been chosen, designer Ana Lucia Beltran asked me to host her live worldwide launch last year of her newest product, the world's first non-toxic luxury jewelry cleaner, safe for gold, silver, diamonds, and even pearls. Ana Lucia is the founder of the world's first designer lab-grown diamond brand. Her entire brand is sustainable luxury, ethically made at prices that make sense. Her pieces have been featured in Queen Elizabeth's Platinum Jubilee album. I'm proud to call her my friend and even more proud to stand behind what she is building for today's women. For 15 years, I sold products all over the world on live shopping. Hundreds have approached me to talk up their products. I've said yes to a handful. Ana Lucia Diamonds and her entire company is one of them. It's time to switch it up. Hi, Alli Mang here. I gained 35 pounds a few years ago and I couldn't get rid of it. I did the usual, including intermittent fasting, a trainer, and even cut down to 1,400 calories a day. Nothing seemed to budge until a friend told me to try Make Wellness. It's bioactive plant-based precision peptides that signal to your body at the cellular level what to do. Burn fat,
curb cravings, preserve lean muscle. Well, the first product I tried was lean, and that was the turn. I lost the weight, and the best thing is I'm keeping it off with no worries. For 15 years, I sold products all over the world on live shopping. Hundreds have approached me to talk up their products. I've said yes to a handful. Make Wellness is one of them. It's time to switch it up.